The campaign is not a new thing in our own environment. It has been going on for many, many years. And it's a day that declared by the African Union. And the declaration was made that September every year should be Amnesty Month. And I think Namibia, we have been doing that for the past couple of few years. And therefore, it is not something new. It is something that we do every year, where we declare September as Amnesty Month for surrendering of firearms and weapons.
Lieutenant General, what type of firearms, ammunitions, and armaments are eligible for surrender under this campaign? And what do we know about the origin of these firearms?
The Amnesty Month was actually declared so that we started disarming the community. We started disarming the civilians, or any person who is in a position of a firearms. That is, the person is not using. Either the firearms was left by one family member and it was abandoned in the house. Either this person passed on and the people cannot get the document, or it is your own firearms that you acquired for some times and you feel you don't need it anymore, or is a broken firearms. It really, those are all the conditions. We are talking about the firearms starting from rifles, pistols, hand grenades, and any other form of explosives that might find themselves in the position of the community.
Sir, this is not the first time you are embarking on such a campaign, you have indicated. How willing is the public to participate in this campaign or relinquishing their illegal weapons?
The campaign has attracted quite a number of firearms that have been surrendered for the past 2-3 years, and it has been a success. It comes because in terms of the law, the Minister of Home Affairs have to gazette. They pass the gazette, and once the gazette is passed, and then we start with the campaign. So what happened is during the previous 2-3 years, so we had a very good experience of really people that are surrendering their firearms and weapons. Yes, there are those that, because we designed the form, that it was placed at a different police station, but I think there were a lot of misinterpretation of the concept. Some people, they said, yes, you just surrender the weapon and you go away. I recall at some point there were even some calls where you said you can even drop the ammunition or the firearms at the roadside, which of course we are not encouraging people to surrender firearms or hand grenades or rifles in the area which is not secured, unattended, because it might end up in the hands of the criminals. So we are suggesting that those who are surrendering the weapon, there is a procedure that actually part of the campaign that we explain to the community how to do it and where to do it. Those are all covered. But the people are willing to surrender weapons that they are not using anymore.
That point brings me to my next question. Some people might be skeptic to willingly come out and surrender their illegal weapons due to fear of victimization. What will be done to ensure the safety of those willing to turn in their illegal weapons but are scared?
At this point in time, what you are saying, we are even saying if there is a weapon in a particular house, and perhaps this, because even if it's a criminal that wanted to surrender his or her weapon, can do that. Because what we are trying to do, once we remove that weapon from the community, is no longer a danger. There's no more risk. The weapon will be now in the hands of the law enforcement. So I know there are those people that will not be comfortable, because some of the explanation that was given is that the amnesty is just on a position. But if that weapon was used for whatever purpose, so you might be interrogated as to what happened. But I think for us to be able to succeed on what we want to achieve is really to give this amnesty to people, whoever is having the weapon, to bring them to the law enforcement. I think what we want to do, the ultimate objective is to clear firearms from the community and hand them over to the law enforcement so that they can be further handled.
So then, what will happen to the weapons that will be collected, especially if they are found to have been used in illegal activities, such as robberies or ways of murders, perhaps?
Yes, there is, in fact, what we are trying to do. We have designed a form, and that form is to, when somebody brings the firearms, we'll just take a note of the name, the surname, and maybe cell phone number, residential address if possible, and just to have a particular of that individual. Because at the end of the day, but because I believe that somebody who committed the crime might not be willingly to come out and bring the weapon in person. We'll even drop it some way so that somebody can pick it up. But if you pick up a firearm today, or you bring a weapon where you don't know where it comes from, let's say you find a weapon at the roadside, I don't think the law will not follow you as where did you get it. As long as you said, no, this weapon, and this weapon, or you find it in a house. It might be your house, but they will find this weapon hidden somewhere in your house. You have the right to bring that weapon to the law enforcement. So I believe that I don't want to focus more on prosecution, because the procedure is that once these weapons are handed in, so that we are going to do through our forensic, we are going to do the ballistic, just to check what caliber of that weapon and the origin of that weapon. We can only determine it through our forensic testing, and then from there we'll know exactly each weapon which was brought from the community, so it originated from where. Yes, we might find those that were used in the commission of crime, but if the origin of a person who actually committed, because you find even somebody, the owner of that weapon, is always used to be a criminal, and perhaps has passed on, and the weapon abandoned it some way in the house of the family. So I think the family, we can still ask them to bring that firearms, and I believe that there will be no issues of following them as long as they explain, no, this weapon belongs to the deceased, or this weapon belongs to a person who used to live in house, and this person we don't know where he lives anymore. If they can give us a particular, and we want to link in now that particular person to the person who committed the crime, I think it's another process that should be dealt at a different level.
Finally, Lieutenant General, where can the residents surrender their firearms, and how will you ensure they do not return into circulation again?
So the citizen, we are appealing the citizen to surrender their firearms at their nearest police station. And if at all somebody, let me say, is an elderly person, we don't really compel that much community members to travel longer distances, to spend money to go and surrender a firearms at the police station. They can simply call the police. No, at our house also, in our village also, there are some explosives that are here, or we have a weapon in this house, and we want to surrender to the police. I believe that our law enforcement members will be able to direct them to drive and go where the communities are, and then take those weapons.